We are sorry to interrupt your news programming on WIPB. This is a national emergency. Important guidelines will follow. The following message has been transmitted by request of the Rayburn Fire Department, the South Whitley Fire Rescue, and the Calumet City County Emergency Management. At around 6:51 p.m. Central Standard Time, a pair of South Bend commuter trains suffered a head-on collision at Gary Interlocking, Indiana. At this time, details are scarce, but will be updated in the next 3 hours. Stay tuned for further updates. Programming will be resumed now. The following message has been transmitted by request of the Indiana State Police, the Illinois State Police, and the Gary Fire Rescue Squad. At 7:11 p.m. Central Standard Time, multiple 911 calls poured into the hotline about an electric fire that was started when the diesel generators ignited the fuel tanks on the commuter trains. Locations that will be impacted for mandatory evacuation are not as alphabetically followed are Gary, Rayburn, Knox, South Whitley, Claypool, Valparaiso, Dunphy, and Calumet City. Anyone within a 10-mile radius are advised to evacuate as soon as possible. Programming has ceased operations for the time being. Stay tuned for further updates. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB for short, has launched an investigation in what caused the crash. At around 7:33 p.m. Central Standard Time, fires have erupted the crash site. The NTSB has been removed to a safe location where their signs of evidence may be found. Again, the NTSB has been evacuated to a safe location for providing information on this critical investigation. All programming is discounted for duration of this emergency message. Stay tuned for further updates as the story develops. We interrupt your news stations on WIPB and WTTW. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message has been transmitted by request from the Federal Railroad Administration, the NTSB, the Illinois and Indiana State Police, and the Amtrak Board of Directors. All Amtrak trains are grounded until further notice. Repeating again, all Amtrak trains such as the Southwest Chief, the Capital Limited, and the Illinois are shut down until further notice. The fires have not yet been fully extinguished yet, so stay calm. Stay tuned for further updates on WTTW and WIPB as the story develops. The fire rescue personnel have arrived on scene to extinguish the final flames. There are no reports of any casualties or fatalities yet, so stay calm. Also, listen to later statements from the NTSB on this critical emergency update for later explanations on this dangerously developing story. Stay tuned on WTTW and WIPB for further updates as this story develops. Tune to 12:40 a.m. on your radio dial for further info on this critically developing story. Again, stay away from this area. We interrupt your news stations on WTTW and WIPB for this critically urgent bulletin from the NTSB and the South Bend commuter and Metro commuter operations. A total of 87 people were critically injured in both commuter trains. Again, 87 people have been critically injured in this fiery head-on collision. It is still unknown what the cause of the disaster was at Gary Interlocking, so stay calm. Also, all 911 calls have been disconnected and are out of service for the South Bend and Calumet City areas until further notice. Stay tuned for further updates. We are sorry to interrupt your news stations on WIPB and WTTW serving the Muncie, Indiana and Chicago, Illinois areas. This is an emergency update to the wreck at Gary Interlocking Tower in Indiana. It was confirmed that there were no fatalities. Repeating again, there was nobody killed in the head-on collision. 55 of the injured victims suffered trauma, third-degree burns, ends in anaphylactic shock from the snow hitting the commuter generator wires. Intensive care units have been set along the perimeter surrounding the western Indiana and eastern Illinois areas. Stay tuned for further updates on 1240 FM on your radio dial for more info as this story develops. The National Weather Service in Hammond City has issued a heavy fog warning for the following locations in Indiana: Gary, Rayburn, Claypool, Knox, Dunphy, Valparaiso, Butler, Hammond City, and for the following cities in Illinois: Calumet City, Fox River Grove, including Algonquin Road, Downers Grove, including Fairview Avenue, Mendota, Sandwich, Galesburg, Quincy, Union. This includes the Illinois Railway Museum tourist operation at Olson Road, and Burlington. Anyone traveling in these locations is to use extreme caution. At 9:10 p.m. Central Standard Time, National Weather Service confirmed heavy fog in these areas. Use high beam lights, and drive carefully. Park at a rest area or service stop for your own safety. Again, heavy fog is present in the areas in Indiana and Illinois mentioned above. Stay alert. Sorry to interrupt your news programming on WTTW and WIPB. This is an emergency update to the wreck at Gary Interlocking in Indiana. This message has been transmitted by request from the NTSB and the Metra commuter operations. Human error and heavy fog were confirmed to be the culprits in this disaster. Anyone evacuated earlier, you may now return to your homes. Also, all 911 lines are back to normal condition. Thank you for your cooperation during this emergency. We will now return to normal programming on WIPB and WTTW. This concludes the operations under the emergency broadcast system.